is dedicated to somebody that's been nothing short of amazing to the StarCraft community for more than a decade now. Someone that we got a whole lot of love for. On a Monday, he makes it fun to play. Everyone make memes of the number J. You're living a dream, I just want to say, hey, thank you, Day 9. On a Monday, he makes it fun to play. Everyone. Born from the ashes, 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 born from the, watch me
Our first map is Ephemeron. There are 10 filthy Revolt SC2 esports credits on the line. In the top left, it's the Australian Zerg Steven. And in the bottom right, as the teal Terran Terror of Ris3n Competitive, fresh off of claiming an alpha victory for the team, it's Koda. Koda currently listening to Lady Gaga as we get into map 1. Your caster today, Renegade, and it's my honor to be here. Special thank you to Revolt for throwing in those 10 esports credits. E-gaming credits, excuse me. I gotta use proper terms at the last second for these two players. Revolt, of course, has been known to bankroll many a fight to the death between otherwise friends. Koda still being friendly with his opponent. We'll see how friendly he is when it comes down to Game 7. In those 10 ESL Pro League not affiliated e-gaming debts receivable are on the line. Koda gunning on one of the links, but Steven with nice micro able to save all 4 of them. As Steven, you kind of want to... Oh, Steven really... Okay, Steven getting out the third. Koda really not committing here to any direction, and that means this Reaper is, like, pretty not valuable. Sure, it sees that there's a third, but you really want to be spreading out damage on these initial lings, trying to get a delay on the third, things like that. It is going to be a little bit harder because, you know, Koda didn't really send across an SAV scout, but... Despite that, the Reaper still would have been hoping to get at least a little bit of damage, maybe a drone kill, maybe a force spore, maybe some damage on these lings. So Koda going for the Hellion follow-up, and Steven has 4 more lings to defend this. Both these guys, pretty good Masters players. So I think they're a pretty even match for each other. I would give Steven a slight edge. We'll see how this goes. Okay, Reaper finally finding some value, picking off the creep tumor. Zerg can absorb that. Should see a second one drop soon, hopefully. But Steven's on a timer to drop that. Or is he? He's going for the Ling run by. Okay. Ooh, Koda almost shifts to the left. These Hellions are really exposed. I mentioned this during the alpha match, but it didn't really come into play. Steven's really good at knowing the Terran timings and how to exploit them. You can see just, you know, these guys aren't backed into a corner. They're moving out. Okay, oh my god, no, he's going for the Dropper Lord play. Totally wasn't looking at the production tab. He's got 2 more on the way. This is... Ooh, he knows exactly what he's doing. This is very calculated from Steven. Yeah, Koda's unawares. Okay, no, he scouts it. Does he though? He can't quite figure out how he wants to deal with this. Alright, Steven patiently waiting for the world's slowest dropper lures to move in. And the SCVs have begun to be massacred. Koda trying to evacuate to the low ground and raise the supply depot. He's not going to be able to. That means the Lings come in from 2 directions. Steven with the reinforcements coming in from behind, trying to catch these Hellions. He's going to back out, poke in, but Koda able to hold on there for now. Not all the Lings trying to fight the Hellions. That means they'll be picked off piecemeal. But still a nice run by for Steven. That means he's not getting harassed back home. Means his creep is not getting cleaned up, and he's able to save 4 of these Lings in the Dropper Lord. Liberator on the other side of the map. Oh my god, it picked off the whole... Oh my god, 11 kills on this Liberator as we were following the action on the other side of the map. So both players kind of even-ish. I'd actually favor Koda coming out ahead here, as these Dropper Lords are pretty expensive, and this one will be picked off by the Marine. Just eating Gauss rifle shots all day. Ugh. There's a 3rd Rax from Koda, firmly committed to this bio play. He still has his Hellions surviving as well. Roachhorn coming up for Steven. Okay, Steven, it looks like he ran by like 2 Lings, got 2 SCVs. Steven gonna build some more Lings. Another Dropper Lord under threat here. Ooh. Yeah, don't want to move in there. So, Steven's goal here was more to keep Koda at home and keep damage off of his side of the map than trying for a killing blow. Here we go again with more harassment, forcing the Marines to stim, trying to suck away Koda's attention. This isn't really going to get too much damage done, and I don't think Steven expects that. You know, he's trying multi-prongs here and everything, but like this isn't, you know, dozens of Lings flooding into the natural. He's just trying to exploit Koda, keep him from pushing out. That said, Koda's found a way to poke out. You know, he snuck the Liberator out while he was dealing with the initial Dropper Lord attack. He was able to cut off a dozen drones of Steven. You can see, you know, he's only 11 workers behind, and his army supply is gravely superior to Steven's here. Upgrades are, you know, close enough. Zerg's going to be ahead for a little while, but, you know, Zerg and Terran upgrades don't exactly scale with each other. Carapace is pretty freaking good against Marines. Marine attack pretty freaking good against Zerg units, so... Steven going for the Roach play. Now, this is something we've been seeing a lot recently in the newly christened ESL Pro Tour. The Roach Ravager against Terran. You know, for as much as I've seen it, I haven't seen too many Terrans lose to it. I feel like Bio's still pretty strong against this, but a lot of European Zergs especially are adapting this style. It looks like we have an Australian one doing it too. Pathogen glands on the way as well. It looks like Steven's going to go for those Ravagers, get the fungal on the infestors, and try and lock down this Bio. Koda hitting just as armor is about to finish. able to save all but one of those Marines as he backs off once again. Ooh, this full medevac, very low on health. Looks like it will make it to safety. Another drop, hitting in the main, only getting 2 drones. And these numbers, these 1 drone here, 2 drones there, another drone getting picked off, are adding up for Koda. He's taken a 15 worker lead. And, you know, he's going for +2 weapons, +2 armor, and like I said earlier, this is going to scale really well against this roach composition. Now, there are infestors on the way that can change the equation depending on how Steven plays his fungals, but... oh my god, these death animations, bro. That one's like impaled on the mineral patch. +2 carapace, +2 missile. About to finish for Steven. 2-2. Gonna be a little bit farther away for the Terran once again. But it's the Terran actually gonna knock down these rocks, and I think that's the correct move. Koda did scout this with a retreating medevac. He lost the medevac, but he is going to be able to try and engage at this vulnerable base. In the meantime, Steven picking up in a dropper lord with 4 Banelinks, trying to hit the mineral line, and Koda doing a drop in the natural of Steven. Steven splitting off some units, but gonna have to catch these with fungal. Oh no, it's actually 4 roaches in the dropper lord. Couple SCVs will be gunned down. Marines coming back home to finish those guys off. Steven dropping in the other side with another 4 roaches. Steven going back up to 4 base on the other side. Alright, you're gonna get a supply depot. I mean, is that really 4 roaches and a dropper lord worth of damage? Oh my, he tries to go into the tank line. He's gonna get nice fungals off on this bio, but they're all still alive, and that means the medevacs will be able to heal them off. So Steven almost with a brilliant play, but not quite able to kill the bio there. Koda not really waiting for the heal. Is going to move in here once again. Tank siege up. Steven doesn't want to engage into this. Both players going for 3-3. Steven slowly being pushed back in this angle of creep. The frontal tank gets picked off, but not really any ground gain for the Zerg. A couple drones mixed in here, accidentally hotkeyed with the army while they were in the eggs. And Soroch just being a meme, trying to hit this mineral line. Really though? In the meantime, Koda chatting in, taking out a 5th. Oh, Steven lets it finished. It's more minerals gone on an already pretty weak Zerg economy. Ugh. Some roaches misrallied as well. He's able to catch these ones before they go out. No, not more roaches! No! okay. He makes the YOLO play. He's gonna drop Bile, come in from the other direction, but oh, sure, he breaks the tank line, right? Oh no, he backs off, so he's not gonna get the back 2 tanks. He's gonna re-engage. That means 2 more tank volleys go off. We were so close to greatness, but Steven does clean up here. However, Koda pushing in from this angle. Koda hitting the main. Another few drones going down. Another hatch. Steven down to 3 hatches as another mineral line gets shredded. And these Roach Ravagers just can't respond to this quick enough or effectively enough. Koda dropping in the natural as a vac heads into the main. This hatch down to half health. Behind this, Koda grabbing additional backup command centers. 3-3 is about to hit the field for him. 3-3 hit the field for the Zerg a little while ago. Roach Ravager Ball gonna chase off these medevacs, but I mean, they have to connect Biles, right? Nothing to shoot up. GG is called. Koda takes a 1-0 lead in the best of 7. Hey, thanks so much for the follow, the Lazy Ninja 87. Let's go to our field reporters for a quick analysis of that game.
Yeah, I can't even think right now.
Oh, no.
Hey, field reporters, what did you guys think of that game?
15. It took 15 minutes, which means Koda's drunker, which means he's gonna struggle in upcoming games.
Yeah, do you think we'll see his Ghost Battle Cruiser build coming up?
I don't know, but one thing that I can tell you with absolute certainty, based on the intel we've gathered, is that Koda's ability to spell is going to massively deteriorate over the
Yes. Basically, the more the bloodstream of the Marines are filled with stim packs, the more alcohol is going to be in Koda's blood alcohol content.
He's gonna be typing a lot, and it's not gonna be spelled right. It's like, fine, I'll play mech. Like,
He does things like that too. He does things like that.
He's like, guys, every time he's supply block, take a drink.
I think we'll see that build in game 3 though, Ram. I think we'll see it in game 3 because at that point he'll be drunk enough to try it. That's fine. Yeah, it's gonna come in game 3. You'll see.
I've seen that shit on ladder, dude. I've seen that shit on.
Alright, well this has been our field team, and we will check back in with them after game number 2. Alright, map number 2 is going to be Eternal Empire. In the top right, as the purple Zerg, it's Steven. In the bottom left, as the red Terran, it's slightly more inebriated than the previous game, Koda. Koda currently up 1-0 in the best of 7. Claiming to have been listening to Lady Gaga that time around. Good manner, positive vibes, flowing back and forth. Eternal Empire, definitely one of the larger maps, one of the more macro maps in the pool. Will we see late game Steven? You could say technically last game we saw late game Steven, but I don't feel that that's true. You know, Steven sticking to that Roach tech and really not, you know, not making it to Hive, not making it to Broodlords, not getting out the Vipers. He had a few Infestors on the field, but they weren't anywhere near enough to deal with the multi-prongs that Koda was throwing at him. Nor do I think they were necessarily the correct tool. We'll have to see how he fares here on a bigger map against probably a different style of Koda. Koda using pixels as a measurement of time. Incredible. He is somehow typing as he micros this Reaper. That's actually that's crazy impressive. Okay. Koda's gonna back up. Just shave some health off of this hatch. I mean, it's going to... This is actually significant damage to the hatch. But Koda definitely wants to find a drone or something. He's going to scout in. Make sure nothing too crazy is going on. Back out. Second factory going down. Tech lab on the barracks. Down goes the Reaper. And, I mean, yeah, no major gains, no major losses on either side. Steven, up 6 workers, up 5 army supply. It's gonna clean up the natural enemy of the Zerg, as Spore would say. These rocks are so weird, man. Look at that texture. They're just overhanging the ramp, man. It's not even, In the meantime, Koda sweeping around with these Hellions. Steven ready to intercept. This time we're hitting the 530 mark, and there haven't been any like major Ling attacks, any major attempted run-bys from Steven. There could be some kind of mutaplay in the works with this lair and the natural. I mean, again, it's a pretty normally timed lair, but Steven likes his Spire play. He likes to go on the attack at some point, so seeing him not doing so... Okay, there it is. There it is. Right on cue. It's gonna be a Spire play. Koda, in the meantime, going straight into Battle Mech. Battle Mech can be great on this map. You just push on to creep. Clear it up. Back off. Tell him teach. This is Steven from Ris3n, formerly of Pigpan. This is Steven from Australia, yeah. So, Koda pushing in here with the Hellion Cyclone. Couple queens going down. This hatch under grave threat, and oh my god, Koda sneaks in 2 Hellions, 2 blue flame Hellions into the natural. Not like this, Steven, not like this. Lings will clean this up. 2 mutas on the way, but this cyclone, this amount of cyclones, if Koda keeps it alive here, backs up into the corner, can deal with those mutas. Okay, 3 a little bit less so, and he survives. Uh-oh, Steven in a very precarious position. What's interesting to note is these drones are actually mining somewhat efficiently. They're mining at like 33% efficiency, up to 24. That third set of 8 drones, still collecting minerals for you, albeit, you know, not in an optimum way. Here come the Muta. They're gonna move command into the Cyclones. One of them goes down. 2. The third one survives. They will regen that health, but 3 Muta is not something you can push into, especially when there's going to be approximately 1 Thor per Mutalisk to bounce this off. A couple Lings sneaking in, trying to get a couple Mules, trying to get a couple SCVs. In the meantime, Koda, ooh, gets another 2 drones. He loses a Hellion, but he can totally afford that. Koda gonna pick off this 4th base. Oh no, Steven. Okay, Steven gets a cancel at the very last second. And I mean, Koda has a pretty scary looking army here. He's got Thors in the mix now. He has those blue flame Hellions. He's getting upgrades. +1 weapons already on the map. And what is Steven's answer to this? You know, Koda's pushing in. How does he stop this? I think the answer right now is he doesn't. That 4th gets canceled again. Steven has a Roach Ball. He has a Muta in the air. But like, I mean, with the right angling, sure, that army can engage this one, but like, it's got to be a perfect angle, and the onus is on Steven to pick his positioning, pick the fight, and take this army down. Okay, yeah, the Roaches don't get there in time. Another 4th is canceled for Steven. Creep spread not pushed too far out from the 3rd. Steven trying to figure out what he wants to do. He thinks about going on the attack. He thinks about defending. He thinks about going on the attack. I mean, so some Biles connect, but Koda only loses 1 unit. Behind this, Steven loses 26 SCVs to this Roach run by, but it's... is it enough? I mean, Steven still has a lot of these workers saved. Oh, he's gonna pull the boys into the Thors. Oh my god, there's still Hellions in the mix. 25 of them do go down. In the meantime, Steven's run by still doing damage, besieging this natural, but the big issue here for Steven is not only larva or income, but also larva. So he's going to be on 2 base production, and while he might be able to economically like pull even with the Terran, get a 3rd up, etc., you know, the Terran's going to be producing the units the whole time. So even though this Thor goes down, Koda already back up to 45 army supply, already with a flotilla of tanks ready to go. They're currently hunting down a single Ling, but even the CC might get saved here. One harassing Muta, all Steven can spare to get in here, and it's going to be deflected by this Thor. Man, it feels like, you know, you're going in with a Broodlord, right? And it feels like these things are just, like, evaporating them, just deleting them off the map. And then you watch it take, like, 12 shots to kill an Overlord, and you're like, what are you doing with my life, man? What is this game? Eventually, this Muta will kill that refinery. If it isn't repaired, a tank goes down in the corner. I mean, that sucks for Koda. But he needs to kill one base. And, oh my god, one remaining Ravager for Steven. And that's it. That's the show. Couple Roaches pop, a couple more Ravagers. Oh no, the miss rally. Uh-oh. We lost the Thor animation there for a second. It looks like it's back. He was scooting, sliding. Blue Flames into the mineral line. Steven microing his heart out with his few remaining units, but I mean, there's a tank per Roach, and it's just not going to work out. Koda pushes into the natural. GG is called. And Koda goes up 2-0 in the best of 7. We're gonna go to our field reporters.
At the moment now, he might be more concerned about oh, he's renegade.
Oh, the field reporter.
Yeah, so Final Dash, what did you think of that game?
I did not watch.
Okay, our intrepid reporter Final Dash with his in-depth analysis of game number 2. There you have it, folks. No, seriously, what did you guys think?
Well, you know, I think Koda, he needs to play this careful, right? Because even though he is 2 games up in the best of 7 against Steven, he's also got to win the, what I want to say, best of 5 match versus his own liver right now, and that's gonna be
that
the tough one.
That one's at 1-1. So like,
yeah,
there's 2
right.
series going on and different score lines. It's
Exactly.
gonna get. And he has to beat Steven before his liver beats him is the other thing.
That's
right.
right.
Because if we go into the ace match right as his liver takes the 3rd victory, like that's just the end and Steven wins. So.
Yeah, and we saw that come into play a little bit in the lobby where he was saying like things like Brohan, like Brocephalus.
A classic sign that things are not going good in the other series.
You know, I think one way to measure this pretty effectively is, you know, how much does Koda say he loves the other player? We're only like at 1 heart Koda, right? So, you know, if we hit 7 minutes into the game, I think that, and you know, Koda's still typing as he tries to go for a Marine tank push. I think Steven might start getting the edge, but
he's still typing.
I have a relevant image to this, and I don't know where to post it.
Off topic. There's off topic.
Yeah. Off topic.
That's the top.
Alright, we need this, but we need to change it to like Koda's StarCraft skill instead of programming.
Yeah. No, you see, I agree, but it's more like if that second line were like a lot less downsloped, right? Because he's really good, really good, really good. He hits the peak with the blood alcohol, and then I think it's accurate because
It's
it
a
does
slower
drop off
decline.
there.
Yeah, it's more like
No,
an
no, no, no.
in-between-
It's a quicker decline. I think
It's
it's
a
just
quicker
a
decline,
slower
but
initial
it's-
decline. Slower
Okay,
initial.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of something in between this and the bell, you know, something
Alright,
like that.
so maybe it takes some modification, but the general idea is.
But
that-
yeah, no, I think you're on the right track here. And now we have graphs and all sorts of statistics to show the stream, Renegade. So you're welcome.
Yeah, it's like MSNBC. It's
Yeah,
really impressive.
you pretty much just threw to the the
where the ju-
halftime show, and we
where-
just statistically broke down everything.
Well, it's like MSNBC,
Totally
except I'm not being paid anything by the Koda administration. Right?
Oh
I mean,
my
you know
God.
what I'm saying?
And Kasai is like the one on the desk that makes bad jokes.
I
So
am-
This just in, we have an open mic gaff from Elizabeth Warren and Stillfly that we're gonna
Oh,
air
no.
right now. It's
Oh man.
yo,
Adopt that?
Renegade.
yeah.
This is not gonna make sense in the field reporter segment, but do you want to play Quiplash after the?
Maybe.
Dude, we can
maybe.
get drunk Coda. We can get drunk Coda.
Oh man, that's a compelling argument.
I figured,
It's
right?
tempting, isn't
In the meantime, I gotta tab back into the game, folks. So I
Alright.
will see you guys for an
Well, that's a
analysis.
little bit of suspense for the stream.
While you
Will
wasted-
Renegade play Whiplash after the series?
Will he? Won't he? Stay tuned to find out. In the top left, toss another drone on the Bobby. It's Steven. And in the bottom right, it's 9 shots in Koda. So Koda up 2-0, but like we were hearing from the expert analysis there with Revolt and Kasai and all those lovely individuals, especially Final Dash for his lengthy editorial. You know, as this goes on, Koda's going to continue drinking, and his builds are going to get more and more ridiculous. Steven this time with the pool first. Is going to get some gas and is banking the larva for those 6lings. Now, there still is an opportunity for an expansion. Okay, yeah, Steven's going to expand behind this. Steven, of course, always picking purple, which is impossible to see on the minimap, but Koda with the SCV Scout. Will see this. Ooh, Steven's going for the roach play. Okay, alright. Yes, this is harder to hold. But if this SCV scouts what's going on... Oh, okay, alright. Koda's SCV needs to get in there. Steven thinks about hiding the 6lings. He's just going to go in, snipe the SCV. If Koda was paying attention, you know, he's going to know exactly what's headed his way. He already has a bunker going down in the natural. Marine coming out as well, but the Reaper poking pretty far forward. I mean, he doesn't want to be caught by these lings and surrounded by Steven. Okay, just one ling leaping into this Reaper. It's going to diminish the strength of this attack, but Steven, with the roach play, has the first roach coming out onto the field. We should see that become a Ravager, so it moves a little bit quicker across the map. Reaper enters the main. And Koda has found the Roach Warren, is paying attention. Back home, he's dealing with this Ling attack. Only 2 SCVs going down so far, no tech delayed. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 5 in total. So that's some significant damage. Steven definitely paying for those spent larvae. There we see 1 Ravager morphed. And now the game is about Steven derping roaches across the map and trying to find damage. So he is sneaking out drones behind this. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's really tricky to balance the right amount of economy versus the attack that you're doing. Forward bunker is canceled, but that's fine. That's a loss that Koda can take. What he really needs to defend is this angle here between the ramp and the CC. Steven's going to be gunning to get to this high ground, to use this Overlord so he can bile this supply depot. We can even see that happening now as he increases the Ravager count. Tries to take this down. Okay, Steven stims out, does some damage on a Roach. He's going to lose a Marine for his efforts. Ooh, a second Roach heavily damaged, but they make it to the top of the ramp. And they make it through the wall. Marines pulled from the low ground. But this damage is all going on to different units. Finally, a Roach falls. There's injured units are in the back. So, Koda mineral walking his SCVs in between the Roach Ravager. Tank coming out for Koda, and this is pretty well held. Steven knows that. Back at home, he's getting a couple additional queens, and we should see a huge wave of drones. There it is, and a third base, which he has just dropped. Back here, the tank moves down the ramp between the bunker and that tank, you know. Down goes the Roach Ravager, but not before 12 SCVs fall. Now, Steven is on a 30 worker economy versus the 9 of Koda. Koda does have mules. Mules are a great comeback mechanic, but are they good enough to deal with a soon-to-be 3-base Zerg? Stim started up on the racks. Steven going for a Ling Flood. If he waits for the reinforcements, I think he can overwhelm this. Koda floating the CC to get that Overlord. And there's gonna be Banelings in the mix. This is gonna be tough for Ko. He's pulling the boys. I don't know, Kev. Steven's gonna actually run from this. Yeah, I think this is wise from the Zerg. He's gonna have 12 more Lings, you know. It's just a matter of if he holds, he's gonna win the game. So he's gonna do exactly that. Just keep kiting. Oh, nope. Is he though? Will he? Won't he? Okay, he backs up to the high ground. Koda. Continuing his push. But these SCVs aren't mining. They aren't tanking damage. They aren't doing anything. Okay, there we go. Steven actually does engage those SCVs, so, I mean, that means that the bio will make it across the map, but also Koda is now economically dead. Steven deciding he can trade a few of his own drones away, evening up the odds a little bit. All right. So, it looks like he could afford that. Yeah, there go the reinforcements, and Steven's going to storm across the map and absolutely destroy everything Koda has ever known and ever loved. Unless he fights Marines in a choke. Probably still, though. GG. As Steven puts a point on the board.
I feel like you don't really care about the spines, they're not important.
Yeah.
So we have a field reporter update.
Yeah.
So, Kasai has declared vehemently that a lot of the moves and decisions that Steven's making in this games are reminiscent of a low GM.
So
Cannot be held. Yes.
I have no comment. No comment.
I have a comment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love doing that.
well, given that he is a Masters 1 player, that's a pretty high
At the
compliment.
really Masters one, who's like Masters 3.
Hey, Ren, I gotta go in like 10 minutes. You have a second to talk real quick?
I am on stream, but sure.
He's casting this show match.
Oh, son of a...
Dude, if you want to talk to me, I can let him know.
Okay, that works. That works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kasai truly is my answering machine.
Yeah.
That would be $45 for the answering machine.
That's the best part about Kasai. He's free.
Because he's cheap.
All right, so
If you want
Koda's
better,
saying no
get
shots, only vodka from the bottle. All right.
What a legend.
What a
No, just water.
Final Dash, do you have any parting words before I head into Game 4?
He should have read his opponent better.
Everyone needs to cheese harder.
There you have it. Final Dash thinks that Koda should have been reading instead of playing StarCraft. All right. See you guys after Game 4. Down here on the bottom right. It's the purple Zerg, Steven. In the top left, as the red Terran, it's Koda. I was debating about making a joke about what's going on in Australia, but it was a little bit too hot for me, so I'm gonna leave that on the table. Steven, doing so, yeah, interesting. So he's positioning this Overlord like he's expecting bunkers to go down. A pretty common scouting pattern is to go here, check to see if the proxy racks are there, and then head across the map. But Steven, with this more careful forward second Overlord positioning, we've seen this be more common in pro play and such as well, but very conservative with that second Overlord, just sending out one for the scout. And, oh, okay, that's why he's going for a proxy hatch. God damn it. Okay. Koda is very bravely. He has scouted this, mind you. He can see it on his minimap, and he's gonna throw that in the main. Factory coming up behind this as well. What does Koda think he's going to do here? Marines aren't enough to hold this high ground. There's a Roach Warren going down back at home. Interesting. Okay, there are spines. This is something like we saw Scarlet do in the IEM qualifiers, and it can work. It can work to great effect. Saw her take down Wooded Microbe with this actually, but is it gonna work versus Koda? He has a bunker on the high ground. It's gonna take even more time for these Ravagers to morph. Steven's gonna... does he have the Overlord? Okay, the Overlord's coming into position now. So these spines can actually angle and hit the supply depot. One Ravager on the field. Koda doesn't really have a response to this. He's getting a bunker farther back, and here's the tank. However, okay. Oh, this is brilliant. Alright, so he's putting a supply depot in between. This is a full wall off. Steven's gonna break the wall over here too, probably. But, I mean, if Steven wants to go up that way, he's gonna be eating bunker fire and taking an extra shot or two from that tank, so he doesn't want to do that. Koda, keeping very calm, cool, and collected. as the siege from the low ground continues. Banshee about halfway finished for a red Terran. Steven content to sit out here and spread creep. He's getting a second hatch back at home. Moving out the slowlings. Link speed just started up. He's been investing all his gas into these Ravagers. Cloak only about halfway finished, so the Banshee not going to be able to... Well, I mean, it can engage the Queen, but ate a couple shots first. Nice pullback on the SCVs from Koda, and he's going for a fusion core. All right, so after these Banshees, it's probably going to be a BC play. Koda using the Banshee for high ground vision, or for aerial vision, so the tank can just clip this hatch right at the hex where its range circle. You see, it's like the apex of the circle right here between these two markers, hitting the hatch. That said, still going to be quite some time before Koda can move out and take this natural. He might have to do some kind of one base play, which I think he's moving toward. Okay, it's going to be a Raven first out, actually. Intriguing. He's going to build the second CC, but there's still creep tumors in the back, stopping it from landing anytime soon. In the meantime, Steven preparing a defense against these Banshees, getting up a couple spores in the natural, one spore in the main, melee as well. The third could be shut down by these Banshees quite easily. They're going to try for some drone damage, get one kill, turn off the cloak. Okay, couple gases going down. Steven stuck on a single gas, not remaking it in his main. No creep spread to this third either, so no spores, no queens to defend it if Koda should choose to attack there. In the meantime, Steven's still dancing with these Terran units. Oh god. Well, Koda has a scan. Oh, he also has the Raven. Okay, that's super helpful. That's right. Banshees will make a play at the third. Okay, this Queen will finish since they're focusing the Spore. Oh no, they're gonna die to the Spore as well. Koda's attention is elsewhere as he focuses on landing these two additional CCs. And he's finally going into Battle Cruiser as well. Creep clears up. This is crazy creep spread from the Zerg. Koda's gonna have a rough time digging himself out of all of it, but he's making progress. Steven, interestingly enough, isn't collapsing on this bio. It looks like he's making a play for the natural. Queens can absorb a lot of tank shots, especially with this much transfuse, and these tanks did exactly what Steven wanted them to, which is focus the Queens while the Link streamed in from behind. You see is recalled home, but these Queens are enough to deal with it. Marines can't collapse in on him. Oh, more, yeah, but here are the Marines that were clearing creep from behind, and they will be enough. If these Lings don't refocus their attention on them, which they will. Koda overstimming a little bit. Lings in the main. 36, 38, 39. 40 SCVs go down. And it's looking like Steven's going to clean up and get himself a second victory. Will he, though? Yeah, probably. Koda's still going to hang in here, but Steven on 3 base, 48 workers to 17. He already has spores up to defend the BC, and Koda's going to have a rough time recovering from this. Man, there's just nonsense all over this map. Koda gonna be able to move out a third. He's on half the worker count of the Zerg, and Steven's going across the creep highway with more Queens, more Lings. Oh, the Spore Crawlers no longer have creep to sit on. So, rip. Queens unable to drop additional tumors as they crawl across. Steven grabbing a ninja base in the bottom left. Does Koda know about this? He does now. Saw the creep, made an educated guess, and is going to storm in on it. Steven a little bit supply blocked. Koda miraculously recovering here all the way back up to 38. It's still an uphill battle, but Steven double expanding. Did he retake the bottom left? He did not. Okay, triple expanding. Koda's coming for him, but Steven has plenty of Lings. Not really Banelings. As a matter of fact, he has no Banelings because the Baneling nest is not finished. The Raven gets picked off. This is a heck of a lot of dragon cleavage, but okay, that's a hatch con. Steven has plenty more where that came from. He's not going to be hurting for larva production or anything. Oh god, he snuck a Ling by through again. Ling run by. Dealing more massive damage to the Terran economy. Koda focused on sieging down the Zerg. GG is called. And Steven gets another point on the board.
Yeah.
Hello, user. Welcome to the party.
Hi, Dad. What did you think of that game?
How's it going? Oh, we're still watching it, actually. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Proxy.
That was interesting.
Hatch.
Final
my
Dash
thoughts
thinks
on
you need to play your keyboard while you cast and like up the tempo if you're playing whenever like an engagement happens. Can you do that?
No. No, I can't.
No. Really.
I'm not that skilled.
You can start.
You now have a goal to work towards.
Do I?
Can you start doing that? Like,
Okay, so I have to so I have to use like my left hand to like move the camera like and like hit control F to follow units and stuff.
Alright.
And
You
then
need a
my
foot pedal
right hand
You need a foot pedal to go between player 1 and 2's view, and you just hit it while you're playing keyboard. That's how you do it.
Okay.
That way you have 5 body parts that do something.
I don't have 5. I don't. Yeah, unfortunately.
My math is just right.
I'm not Maynard, okay? I don't have dreads that I can manipulate at will.
Maynard Zerg in disguise confirmed.
Oh my god. Maynard, but his dreads are like the fucking Kerrigan. Like, hit extra buttons with them.
Players are discussing Icy Far in the chat. Steven recently featured on a couple Icy Fars.
Oh, really?
Right. Gonna get into game number 5 as these two players are tied.
Steven's gonna win this one, I'm calling it.
Okay.
Calling it Steven.
Heard it here first, folks. In the bottom left, it's Stalix. And in the top right, it's the Red Terran. Koda. Koda sending out 2 SCVs to make 2 barracks. Steven has opened pool first previously in the series. Will he do it again this time? There's 1 Rex. Oh, there's a 3rd SCV. There's 2 racks. And there's 3. Back at home, he has not dropped a refinery. That means this is most likely going to be Marines. First rack's about to finish. Overlord is it going to go out far enough? It is. So it sees the first racks. Steven did go pool first. He's already mining double gas. Oh, what a great call here from Steven. And he cancels the natural. And that's good because this is now a proxy 4 racks. It's going to be 4 racks Marine. Is Steven making the right call here with the Roach Warren? It's going to go back to completely mining minerals. He does have 152 gas in the bank. That does mean 6 roaches will pop. 2 spines to hold the high ground, as well as those slow lings. And Koda's really committing here. He didn't cancel the racks. He could have just gone down to 2 racks and put on a little pressure, dropped a bunker outside the natural. But nope, he's continuing with all 4 racks, and there's one of Steven's signature Ling run buys. Koda actually running some of the Marines back home to defend. He does have a full wall at the top of the ramp, but these Lings might get 1 or 2 SCV kills. Koda is going to pull back home, just leaving the bunker. Floating 1 Rax home, leaving 3 to continue hemming in the Zerg. No SCVs here to repair. Steven will eventually knock this down, but... yeah, Koda. In an interesting position. He's ahead in army supply. It looks like Steven does want to expand. Koda's gonna pick up and float home. These Ravagers might gun down 1 or 2 of the Marine. Nope, they're gonna take the wrong angle. Will they though? It's like 2 of them will fall. But the bulk of Koda's force is still surviving. That means Steven's not going to be able to push in for quite a while. Hey Nubius, practice was 5 hours ago. Unfortunately. But I'm happy to help you tomorrow, if I have some time. Rip. Natural CC under production for Koda. Ooh, he landed 1 of the proxy racks. Got a tech lab and is building stim outside of his base. For someone who likes to swarm around the map like Steven with Mass Ling, it's a bold move. But it's one that's going to pay off considering that Steven is going for infestors and burrow. Third CC finishing up as well as the factory. Stim almost finished for Koda. And Steven, is he gonna take a third? I think Koda a bit ahead here. Additional Ravagers for Steven. But, I mean, a very defensive posture. However, still behind. Is he, though? Well, I mean, I guess. Koda's moving out his second CC. Okay, there we go. It's going to be this Bird Infestor play. It's going to be fungal on the SCVs. Remember, there's no infested Terran anymore. Interesting. Koda hasn't noticed it. He's going for a huge push here. +1 halfway done for the Terran. Combat shields finishing up as well. Infestor doing absolutely nothing, but the Infestor here getting a pretty big fungal off, and he will save the Zerg today. Steven going for a counter push. There we have it. It's unburrowed. It's fungled. It's chain fungled. Okay, 7 SCVs for those 2 fungals are just going to even up the worker count. Steven's still on 2. Oh my god, he doesn't have high ground vision. He can't drop the the fungal. Ooh. Of course, the Bile connects with the Marines. They are in very low health. Burrow gonna save the Ravager. Koda calls GG. Oh man, I don't think. Okay, that puts Steven up 3-2 in the best of 7.
Pokemon noise, I guess. On a Monday, he makes it fun to play. Everyone made memes of the number J. We live in a dream, I just want to say, hey, thank you, Day 9. On a Monday, he makes it fun to play. Everyone made memes of the number
So, how do you feel about Koda tapping out there?
You know, there was controversy amongst our ranks right before you joined. Honestly, we're
That
split
was a
there.
GG.
Final Dash is saying that was GG. He left at the right time. I felt, and I know, Lazy Ninja. Sorry, yeah, Lazy Ninja. Were saying that seemed a little early. Seemed a little
Alright,
wee.
then how is he gonna deal with it?
There is a drastic difference in the army supply, but the work.
No, but okay, the Terran's gonna make more Marines. He'll just get fungal, get killed faster. He doesn't have siege tanks to deal with those roaches.
All right.
Koda
I
is-
see you in here citing a bunch of units and bullshit. Okay, but what about dreams, Final Dash?
Yeah.
What about
Dreams?
dream?
Listen,
What about
Koda
magic? What
is
about
the
the
master
power
of
of
the drink.
inspiration?
And the power of the dream. That is
Yeah.
Koda. The drink and the dream.
Well, if he became sober, maybe this would change. But for now, these Master 3 players gotta improve.
Ooh, controversial words from Final Dash.
So, Steven is legitimately saying he was trying to go 1 base Infester Broodlord.
That doesn't shock me.
Real
I do
world
not
for
doubt
real
that.
people.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that he would do that, but like, I don't know. I feel like he would have stuck with it.
Someone recommended to me 2 base Infester Broodlord for ZVZ.
I mean, that is a thing that people do sometimes.
I don't know how.
I don't know how. It happens if your opponent's a fucking idiot and doesn't scout you, which is what I am. So therefore, it works on me.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one who, as people noticed in the text chat, decided the perfect new build for TVT. You go Battle Mech, but with Ghost, Proxy Ghost. You see, the secret is that Battle Mech is actually really great against unsieged tanks.
Yeah.
Which is tanks that are dodging Ghost, nukes. Big brain plays.
Big brain plays.
Big brain.
Because, you know, the reason Battle Mech doesn't work is because siege tanks kill it if they're sieged. But they also die really
Oh
hard.
no,
to it as a
dude.
tank.
Koda won with Battle Mech earlier.
Dude, Koda doesn't even know what he wins with sometimes.
Yeah.
He just fucking plays the game, and sometimes he hits stem and stuff dies, and then the game happens.
He just blacks out and he like
The
comes
question
to
is,
when the
whose stuff
victory
dies?
screen like
Guys, I won!
Yeah, StarCraft, how does it work? No one knows. You can't explain that. That's...
Yeah, fucking Billy Mays here with fucking Oxygen.
That's a good point. Koda does have an account named Billy Mace. Do we
He
think
does.
do you think that'll help him here as the series?
yes.
I think definitely.
It makes him 20% more likely to win, you know.
Well,
So
I
I heard
think I agree.
Sticks Bender
Yeah,
say
no.
something on
You
stream about
think
Battle
for a
Mech
simple
Ghost
payment of
Rushes.
20 points of MMR, that will double.
Oh gosh, you
his chances of
summoned
winning.
fucking Kasai
Yeah,
from
dude.
Twitch chat, dude.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Fucking Kasai has risen from the cesspool of Twitch chat because
need to
you've
listen to the
incited his
cesspool.
ire. Because you've
Pretty much,
incited
pretty much.
his ire. Alright, lay into him, Kasai.
Hello.
Okay. Well, if you're spending gas on mech units and ghosts, you'll have less of either in the early game, especially. So
Yes.
I don't
Just
know
go
if that makes
fucking
sense.
8 Ghost Academy new.
You know what?
Let's It says it's picking it up. Oh.
You see, Kasai, the flaw in your reasoning is you assume that TVT makes sense, but it's a mirror match.
Yeah, Kasai.
Alright, guys.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
I shouldn't have assumed
All
logic.
right, all right. I think Renegade's gonna get back to game
Yeah.
5 here. Sounds.
Yeah. We are load again, so we will check with you guys after this game.
We'll see if we're still arguing
I
about
would
TVT.
argue TVT.
In the bottom right, up 3-2 in this best of 7. It's not Pig, it's not Maynard, and it's not Dragonite. So it must be the 4th Australian, Steven. The 5th one's Probe, but we don't really talk about him. He's not, you know, he's not in the Aussie gang. So, yeah, in the top left, it's Drunk Koda. Also Stark. So, oh no. Steven's going for a quick 3 hatch. Nope, he's not. He's just going for this hatch location. For reasons unbeknownst to us. It could still be a quick 3 hatch before pool or something weird. Koda getting up his natural. Getting a gas and gonna go for racks. I think Steven here counting on the fact that, you know, Koda proxy racks the last game, so he's not gonna do it this time. He's gonna go just hatch gas pool. Koda getting the SCV scout off. And there's the second CC morphing into an orbital. Bunker at the front. Steven going for a 2:30 third hatch. In earlier timing, certainly not the earliest. And I don't get this. I don't get why Steven went for that location. Maybe to make Koda think that Steven was pulling a 1 base, but I don't know, man. Koda getting up a factory. Steven just droning away. Looks like there is going to be swap off onto the reactor for some Hellion play. Koda getting that gas up. Swapping into it. Third CC under development. Man, that's a scam. Look, the mule's not even cutting the minerals. Look at that. Look, it doesn't even touch them. Terran scam. Steven didn't build his extra overlords in time to count for this scout, and it's late. That's gonna be okay, because Kasai is also supply blocked, or Koda is also supply blocked. I'm sure Kasai is too, but that's a different story. Okay, very briefly, just that's gonna be alleviated. Fusion core goes down for Koda, now that he shut down the scout. Yeah, like a 420 scout is pretty late. You normally want to go in between like 3:30 and 4 minutes. And in spite of that, he's not really gonna know what's going on. He should know that there's a tech lab on the starport. Okay, he does. It's gonna get spores at each base. However, Steven is not mass producing queens. He has a few on the field, but he does have one base not making queens, and he's gonna need every unit he can to deflect these BCs. He's floating quite a bit of minerals as well. Could be going for a 4th base, early 4th or something soon, or adding on these gases. Okay, there we see 2nd and 3rd gas. He's still not pulling into the one in his main, and he's going for a Roach Warren. So rather than try and fight off the coming battlecruiser, he's just going to go for an attack of his own, counting on Koda to have these Hellions that the Roach Ravager will do so well against, and be able to catch them out in the open, take them down, and then do damage behind it before the battlecruisers can do damage. But this isn't just one battlecruiser, it's two starports building battlecruisers. Steven? Pushes the queens forward. He's gonna have to drop a lot of creep, and this actually is hurting because these queens are gonna need transfuse, right? So there's a transfuse and a half just gone from these queens for when the battle cruisers inevitably blink across or slow walk. Koda moving out of 3rd base, salvaging the bunker. There's the blink. Click. These transfuses aren't going down efficiently. Okay, there we go. All the transfuse gone. The queens are melting to the Hellabats, and Steven's on the back foot. 10 more roaches coming out. Steven's gonna evac the drones. Hellabats continuing to push forward, going after these queens. Koda with 9 drones worth of damage so far, and Steven able to save most of those workers, only a couple behind, but of course Koda did get a 3rd base up behind this. Steven gonna reestablish that natural, but it's 8 minutes into this game. He needs to be going for a 4th. That's exactly what he's done. And he needs to saturate that. He needs to get the gases up. If there's one thing I have to say about Steven's play so far, it's that he stays on Roach Ravager like way too long. You know, you need 8 Broodlords out on the field around that 13 to 15 minute mark, or something, you know, to scale into the late game. You know, Steven just now going for +1 missile and carapace, going for burrow as well. But, yeah, Koda has 4 BCs in the air. What is this going to do against 4 BCs? I'll tell you exactly what it's going to do. It's going to try and deal as much damage on the ground as it can while the BCs shred these queens, and then it's all dead. So if Steven gets off an efficient trade, that's the best he can hope for here. This blink should be off cooldown on all 4 BCs, so while the Hellbats engage at the front, Koda should be able to mop this up and blink back home to defend. Steven pushing up the ramp. Will Koda blink home to defend, or is he just gonna all in? Mass cancel on the spores. Steven going up the ramp. Tanks firing from behind. Battlecruisers blinking back. CC falls. Koda loses 18 SCVs. Oh, did Koda like forget about the burrowed roach? Like what? Oh, okay. So these guys positioned around to do damage. In the meantime, ShowMatch rocketing up to 60 workers. He's established 2 new bases, still only on 4 though, as Koda gets his own 4th. But he does have these roaches ready to pop out when he knows Koda's away from home. And there it is. Hitting in the main and at the third at the same time. I'm gonna cut down a lot of SCVs. ShowMatch will lose a base for his heresy though. Okay. Koda's gonna blink home. That is gonna leave this bio tank a little bit undefended, but ShowMatch doesn't care to. Oh, no, he's not gonna blink home. He's gonna blink to the third. 30 SCVs launched plus this bird roach attack. It's dealing so much damage, bro. Third CC, I mean, we'll get cleaned up eventually, but 31 SCVs have gone down so far. Overlord's under fire. ShowMatch going for another burrowed roach assault. I still give Koda the edge here, depending on how he deals with this burrowed roach. ShowMatch didn't get the cancel. He is focused on this attack on the Terran. I think Koda needs a Raven. He has the starports to do it. He's just not. Wait, does he though? Where are the starports? Oh, there it is. Or missile turrets. Missile turrets would suffice. There we go. Koda now going for a double drop. Has invested into some infantry upgrades. And there's the drop of the main. Oh, Corruptors snipe off one medevac, but they gotta be careful. They're very expensive. One of them does go down. ShowMatch investing in Carapace. We're just coming in to clean this up. Some of these Marines will not be able to be loaded into the medevac. It will die to acid. 7 drones go down in that attack. Really back and forth game from these two players. Here come the burrowed roaches. Ooh, Koda notices though. There's the scan, and a lot of these guys will be picked off for free. Army supply even for both players, but Koda with the higher value units. Ooh, that's a lot of damage there with the cancel on the Ravagers, but it's better than them all dying and losing the roaches as well. He's gonna attempt a second Morphin, but you can see how many fewer there are. Oh god, okay, that medevac will go down in the sky, but these Corruptors literally can't hit anything else. Marines move forward. They're gonna gun down the Ravagers, and the Corruptors exposed in the air. ShowMatch at 52 army supply of things that can't shoot ground units. Koda blinks into the main as he sieges down the natural. This is it. ShowMatch's a one-base Zerg. Effectively. Ooh. The Unburrow on the Marines, but it's not going to be enough. Even with the heavy injuries these guys have sustained, Corruptors coming in to try and deal with the BCs, but they're going to have to fly over a cloud of Marines. And these are not trades Steven can afford to take. My god, always with the tanks. GG. As Koda evens up the score 3-3, and we head into the ace match.
The Overlords is one way to win. So I already told you my meme TVT build, but did I tell you about 4 racks not proxy Reaper into Thor drops into Mass Viking to kill all their Overlords?
Oh my god.
Real build.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't follow any of that.
So, a lot of you guys predicted that Steven would win the previous game, right?
No, that was just me, dude. Don't give them the credit for my brilliance, okay? I'm the Oracle.
Oh, he's actually in here. I thought this
were
was on
that
stream.
good.
Okay.
Apparently,
What's the last map?
You're talking about the stream.
Yeah.
This is on the stream, Kasai. It's
like, right. So it's like, I didn't realize you were in the channel.
I'm not in the channel. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Renegade, I need to apologize towards Revolt, intelligence towards the baby education that I was talking about.
What?
Apology accepted. Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Okay.
Moving on.
I don't know. Yeah, I accept. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
So what's the last map? Because I'll make my prediction based upon what that is.
That is a good point.
Koda wins.
I don't know.
What have they played so far?
Desert's gonna make a big mistake that he...
Did they play Ephemeron?
Yeah, that was the first one we're talking about the bridges.
Did they play Eternal?
They played Ephemeron, Eternal, Nightshade, Simulacrum, World of Sleepers, Triton, which leaves...
Zen.
It is going to be Zen.
Ooh, on Zen? Oh, you know what? God. I'm gonna have to go with Steven on... Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Steven on Zen, to be honest. Yeah.
I'm going Koda.
I'm going...
Believe in Koda.
It's a weird fucking map, and Steven's a weird dude in a great way, but you know...
Yeah, I had the same thought process. It is a long fucking map, but it's a weird map, and he's a weird dude.
That's right.
A recipe for greatness.
Let's spice things up, make it an arc.
Thank you for the commentary, Final Dash.
Alright, so this is game 7. The score is tied 3-3, and we will check back in after the game.
Nice.
Fuck you, Kasai. Alright, we're gonna get into game number 7. I'm memeing, that hit so harsh. Oh, no, they didn't stay ready. Shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, what a disaster. Fuck.
Right? What year is this? It's an Immortal! I did such a good Immortal impersonation. That was dead on the money. You tell me that was not an Immortal, right? That was perfect. I am so good at this. You want me to do my Overlord from StarCraft 1? Sure. Inadvertently duct tape my face shut, and I could still do an Immortal. An important skill to have. So let's go ahead and go to that final game, game 5.
There we go. Right.
We're gonna play the one song only.
All right. We are ready to go. Spawning into the final map of the evening. It's game 7. The scores are tied 3-3. In the top right, as the purple Zerg, it's Steven. And in the bottom left, as the red Terran, it's Koda. These two players from Ris3n Competitive going up against one another this final time. One could almost say it's their final dash. Zen LE, a very weird map. With these mineral patches all over the place, creating choke points. Especially weird are these vision blockers in the middle of the map with choke points on either side. If we spin the camera around, we can kind of see that they are catacornered to one another. And if you want to send links through here or anything, it's going to be a little bit dicey. You know, other things that come into play. Steven likes his Roach Ravager, so if he doesn't have an Overlord up here providing vision to the middle, you can't drop Corrosive Bile where you don't have vision. So these are actually totally Corrosive Bile proof if you put the tanks in there. Both players seeming to play it pretty standard, actually. It's going to be a Reaper expand from Koda. Some drone harass from Steven. Koda. With his CC now delayed, what's he gonna do about it? Steven be like, what you gonna do about it? I delayed your CC. I'm taking a 225 third. That's an Australian accent, by the way. I say I'm taking a 225 third. I have 4 lings ready for your Reaper. I say. Bro, you know, Australians really afraid of drop bears, and, you know, Koda is a bear, and he likes to drop. Will that be enough to defeat Steven? Maybe. Probably not. But probably. We don't know. Koda. Oh my god, wait, what? What? Okay, so Steven is dropping a proxy hatch really far away from the natural, so that's a double-edged sword. It's gonna hit late, and also it's not gonna get scouted, you know. Huh. Alien's coming out. Koda's blocking off this attack path. So when these Hellions go to attack, interesting. He'll probably just lower the supply depot and send them out that way, but what if he doesn't? Right, so Koda scouts this, but so many links from Steven. Steven gonna get the wraparound on a lot of these Hellions, but not all. Is Koda's micro good enough? There have already been mistakes made. Down goes the Reaper. Liberator gonna siege in the natural, try and save some of those SCVs. Okay, Koda's cleaned up. 6 SCVs go down. Steven investing a lot of larva into this. He was able to save the proxy hatch, but he's going to have to defend it now. 3 spines going down, and he's pulling back those lings rather than trying to continue aggression into Koda's natural. Liberator is going to siege up. That means these larvae will get exploded. Spore of the spines, though, will finish. Steven, waiting for this queen, gonna spread creep towards this natural. Hellions really not the best units, or even, like, decent units to try and deal with those spines. Koda's going for a starport, for a tech lab, for additional barracks. That means he's going to go for bio, probably a battle, or not a battle cruiser. He's probably going to go for Banshee here. He's going to get an Overlord. This will supply block Steven's already, like, almost supply blocked. This is going to hurt him hard. He has 0 Overlords in production. And we're going to see that bank stack up quite a bit. Yeah, he's got 3 larvae sitting everywhere. There's the Injax, and there's just nothing he can do about it as he's trying to launch an assault on the Terran. These Hellions are going to slide past, and this is going to pull Steven out of position, which gives Koda an opportunity to push his tank forward, maybe. Use the Liberator for air attack and, you know, move in on these spines if he wants to. Hellions do get picked off. Only 8 drones going down to that. I feel like Koda probably wanted more damage there, but he got the damage he could, right? The Marine tank going to start moving in on this 3rd, maybe? No, Koda's just going on the attack. He's like, screw this hatch, it's not mining. It's just spreading creep. He changed his mind. Interesting. He changed his mind again. Okay, he's gonna secure a 3rd. Okay, Koda's moving out. Creep sees this. Like, Steven is fully aware of everything that's happening. He's going for the Ravager morph. Damage from these Banshees being spread out. Tank fire putting in work. One of them does get biled down, but there's not really anything Steven can do about these Banshees. Spore is going to take half the hull health off of one of them, but Steven's going to be pushed back to 2 bases here. Koda picks off the hatch. Bile does connect with one of these Banshees. It's not enough of it, though. Steven on dwindling army supply. As the Terran clears the infestation from Zen. Goes for a Ravager flank, able to pick off another tank, but he's not able to engage, just pick at the Terran. Another 5 drones fall. Steven goes for a Mutalisk play. He's gonna have to try and find an angle on the tanks with the Mutalisk. Okay, no, he's going after the Banshee. 3 of them are saved. Marines are almost out of stim. There isn't a medevac to heal here, and this low a health, a Marine can't actually hit the T button. It would be funny though, like if you overstimmed, all your Marines died, but it's Terran, so that doesn't happen. Muta's coming in from the back, sniping at the tanks. Okay. That's actually, these Mutas are going to be able to trade really effectively here. And that leaves the tank line exposed. Alright, Steven finding some good damage, but it's still Koda's game to lose. Steven was able to establish a new hatch down here toward the bottom right. The Spire actually slowly dying. Steven doesn't have a lair, so he can't drop creep to protect it. He needs to drop a tumor. He's gonna do that now. Steven trying to poke in at this third base, but Koda has it pretty well defended. Ooh, those Banshees trading poorly with the Queens, but they have found this vulnerable town hall building, and Steven pulls back to the natural. This is like the main mining base for Steven, and down it goes. There's nothing he can really do to defend this. He might get a Banshee and trade, but it's really not value. And Koda. Okay, alright. So speed banelings on creep, pretty good. Pretty good units. This could coin flip it for Steven. It's gonna be difficult though. This is a lot of Marines. This is a ton of Marines. Both players even on upgrades. Oh, Koda's gonna snipe the banelings! Okay, that's 1 baneling down. He's got about a dozen more, but it's okay. He's gonna try to put pressure on Steven. Steven's not having it. He cancels, but these mineral patches are dwindling. Steven gets a tank. Koda may have overstim. Nope. Oh my god, those splits, man. 4 banelings still left. Kyle's coming down. It's enough to clean up this wave, but Koda has reinforcements. More banelings. Oh my god. SC2 Micromaster splits. And Koda's gonna push in. Down go the roaches. Koda at triple the worker count. Stims again. Cuts down an Overlord. And it's basically just a matter of rallying across the map at this point. Oh god, some roaches spawned at the proxy hatch. Are gonna try to delay reinforcement. Well, Koda's in the main, killing even more workers, but Steven doesn't want to tap out just yet. There are 10 e-gaming credits on the line, courtesy of Revolt. So he is fighting to the last Zerg. Other hatch established down here. but it's not going to survive very long. The boys have been pulled. Drop in the main is cleaned up by Steven. He's down to 14 workers on 2 hatch. I guess 3, technically speaking, if you count this, but... Okay, Koda's gonna stem in, clean this up. I mean, if Steven wins this game, I'll eat a shoe, but sure. Koda is just deploying troops all over the map where they are needed, and has killed the Baneling nest. Lings are going down as well. GG is called. Koda takes the series 4-3. Right, we're gonna have one more check-in with our field reporters.
Yeah, 5.1 to 5.3 Zerg that played a normal game. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying it, but I'm saying it. You know?
This is like the Gamer Richie influence on Koda.
Oh yeah, ask Gamer Richie what he thinks about low TM Zergs.
Okay, guys, I want to know how many drones did Stefan make that game? How many drones did he make?
Like 120.
120. GG.
Right. How many drones?
Congratulations.
Koda, I'm already out of beer.
108.
You're out of beer. Dude, I'm about to start my 4th fucking drink. Let's go, boy.
Ooh, Koda slowed it down tonight. Wow.
Yeah, now the truth is out.
Yeah.
Well, I had to fucking play in the Ris3n fucking tournament. Not the tournament. No, I had to play in the clan war or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I did this, so I had to slow down a little bit. But now I'm gonna have drink number 4. Okay?
All right, Koda, I'm gonna chug this shit with you.
Sounds fucking good, my boy. Thank you, Kasai, by the way. That was fun.
Sounded very kind to your livers.
Oh, thank Revolt. I'm pretty sure Revolt put the money up for that.
Oh,
kind to your livers.
Revolt.
No,
Thanks, bro. Thanks for the show match.
Yeah, dude, send me your PayPal.
But you're being as kind to them as Koda was to Stefan's drone. So
Yeah, what he said. Steven's a good fucking dude. Last time we played in a tournament, he actually beat me. So
yeah, I figured it would be a good match, and it didn't disappoint. You know,
I had 140 probes produced before.
And we did a little bit of everything too. You know, he did some gimmick, I did some gimmick. Like we did some.
Yeah, it was a great series.
It was a good.
So,
It was a good.
what did you think of Steven's heavier use of Roach Ravager in that series versus his normal Mutiling Bane style?
I missed part of it. He will always mix in at least one like Roach Ravager all in. That's just kind of how he likes to play best of 3s and 5s and 7s and stuff.
This is the same guy that was like, roaches are trash a couple of years ago. No joke. Like, him and I would use to ZVZ all. He would always backstab me with the Zerglings because he had really good map vision.
I'm making the drink real
And
quick.
two, he was like, listen, roaches are trash. The only time you make roaches is to have a wall in front of your Hydra.
So, confirmation that Steven is flip-flopping on the issue of roaches. I'm intrigued by this
Maybe
contract.
he just really likes specifically
I think
Ravagers.
his pocket might have been greased a little bit by a big roach. You know, we gotta check for that.
Yeah, like there's a roach with like a fucking
Papa Roach.
suit and a tie and sunglasses in a dark alleyway and like handing him a couple of
Open
minerals.
the briefcase.
Don't they always
That's
use
right.
ties? Like, look at the dark color of the roach. That's obviously a tuxedo color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear, there's a roach in a tuxedo in an alleyway that like handed him a couple of minerals on the down low to start Ravager all-winning.
Well, the
it was
other
obviously-
thing
it was
that's
obviously
really
just
important that we've
a
learned after
tunneling
this
claws
series.
roach. That's why it had all the minerals on its back. Extra bling.
The one thing that we've for sure learned from this series, though, is, you know, it takes us a while to deliberate and decide on, you know, when we're absolutely positive and we know, you know, one of our members ranks, you know, we figured it out with Renegade Diamond 2. We got there, and
Right.
after a long amount of deliberation, we can now declare Stevens that he is a low GM. So we.
That's right.
Well, what does that make Koda?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think
Fake-
we
fake
might have to
GM.
think about that one.
That's
we come out with about one ranking every
Tune
5
in
months.
next time on Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah, right.
If I'm sober, I think I can fucking hit low GM.
Coda.
What?
Coda is a fucking G.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
There we have it. That's his rank. He's a G. He's not a GM. He's a low G. Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that you, for my first ever show match,
just a G, a fucking
an
G.
opponent who's actually like fucking like
FG,
really well mannered, etc.
Yeah,
Of course, it's Steven.
Yeah, dude. No, I fucking love playing against Steven.
Yeah, dude.
We go back
Also,
to
I feel like you might have been at like just the right amount of drinks to react calmly when he proxy hatched you, threw up spines, and then it was still a fake. You know?
Yeah,
that was
And
pretty
it was
baller.
still a big
Yeah,
levels of the mind game, dude. Levels.
I mean, if you had like 3 more drinks in you, you would have freaked out, panicked. You know, like if you had no drinks in you, you would have been like, all right, gotta focus on this all in. You know?
I'm going to refer back to my graph that I posted in off top and ask Koda to look at it and like. Well, it's exactly what Kasai is describing right now.
Yes, that's right.
The bomber peak.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a show match. Congratulations, Koda, to the 4-3 victory.
Thanks, bro.
We're gonna raid.
Those are amazing. I enjoyed it.
And thank you to Revolt for sponsoring the prize pool for this event. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah.
Born from the ashes. 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 Born from the